What's going on? What's going on? How y'all doing? How you doing? What up, Viz? What up, Willie?
Yes,
How
sir.
the world? How y'all doing out there?
Hey, that was a nice vibe coming into it.
I know, man. Isn't it? I like that too, man. I like that too. Kind of put you back in there like Bruno Mars, that back in the day with some of the little tunes that's in there.
Mm, definitely lofty type of laid back, chill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad it was only 2 minutes, man, because we might have lost you there. You might have passed out on that. That's one of them.
Hey.
Yeah, if you was about 10 minutes away from falling asleep, that was it right there. That was a nightcap. Uh, what he said talking about that about. All right, it's all good. With I got you. Fishing and Fit, how you doing? As you guys come in, hit that like button, and also make sure you subscribe to the channel. So we went live a little earlier. The news had broke about Diddy. Diddy was actually charged with 2 counts, and the main charges he was not charged with. So that harsh penalty, all that time he will not have to do. But everybody thought he was getting out. Everybody thought he was getting out. About 4:30 Eastern time, the judge said, "Nah, you gonna sit your ass right up in there. Gonna sit your ass right in there. You're not going nowhere. You're gonna be spending the 4th of July behind those bars." So that's what we like, man. I am gonna drop this link for you guys to come in as well. We got another show directly after this, but we're gonna talk about Diddy right now. But before we do, if you missed King Talk last night, we got a sponsor of the show, Anson Belt and Company. They make some fantastic belts, man. I had the opportunity to try them out. I like them. I like the feel of them. When I went to the airport, instead of pulling off my belt, I was able just to take the buckle off, take it through the metal detector, and put it right through. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this ad from Anson Belt and Company so you guys can get an idea of what you missed yesterday. Every stylish guy knows what takes an outfit from good to great is the attention to detail. And nothing completes a look like the right belt. You know what ruins a great outfit fast? A worn out belt that doesn't fit right. Most guys are still rocking belts with stretched out holes that either pinch your waist or sag and throw off the whole look. That's why I'm excited to partner with today's sponsor, Anson Belt and Buckle. This family-run company has been around since 2009, and they've completely reimagined how belts should work. Instead of holes, Anson Belt uses a micro-adjustable track system with quarter-inch increments. That means you get the perfect fit every single time. And once you feel that kind of comfort and precision, you'll never want to wear a traditional belt again. The best part, you can mix and match every buckle with any strap. One box set gives you 9 different belt combos, so you'll get to maximize versatility with way less clutter in your closet. But this isn't just about style. It's about feeling more comfortable, more confident, and more put together every time you get dressed. Anson Belt moves with you, so whether you're sitting, standing, or on the go, you're always comfortable and always looking sharp. I've been wearing mine nonstop, and honestly, it's the best belt I've ever owned. Once you try it, you will see exactly what I mean. You won't go back. And here's why you can trust them. They're still proudly family owned. They've earned over 40,000 5-star reviews, and every belt is backed by a lifetime guarantee on functionality. They stand behind every product they make, and once you try one, you'll understand why. And because Anson Belt and Buckle is sponsoring today's video, when you click the link in the description or scan this QR code to build a box set, you'll get 2 bonus pieces, a buckle and a strap completely free. That's 3 buckles and 3 straps, which you can mix and match into 9 unique belt combos all in one box. It's an exclusive deal you won't get anywhere else, so click the link, build your set, and upgrade your belt games today. Shout out to Anson Belt and Buckle Company, man. I do have TSA pre-check. And even though you go through that little small metal detector, every now and then it may go off. So just so if I'm in a rush, because typically I'm rushing, I'll just pull off my belt buckle. I pull it off, leave the belt in, then I just go ahead and slide it back in there, lock it back in, and I'm good to go. So it speeds up the process in so many ways, man. It's fashionable, durable. I got some of the belt I did. You guys seen it. So whenever you get a chance, click that link that should be in the description. I'm gonna go ahead and put it back in there just to make sure you have the opportunity. What you laughing at, Viz?
Hey, yo, pause.
Oh, you talking about some pause moment? Multitasking, so I may have missed that one. But I'm gonna go ahead and drop this link again for you guys. Go ahead and click that link. So let's go ahead and get into this Cassie and Diddy situation. Well, Diddy situation, because Cassie was just a part of it. So soon as he got released, well, as soon as he was not charged with all the counts today, Cassie team released this right here. They were demanding that he stayed. They said, "Dear Judge, we write as a counsel for Cassandra Ventura to respectfully request that the court deny Mr. Combs to be released pending his sentencing on his two convictions under 18 USC, blah, blah, blah." So they said that Ms. Ventura believes that Mr. Combs is likely to pose a danger to the victims who testified in this case, including herself as well as the community. So as soon as the news dropped that he was only charged with two counts, Cassie and her counsel released this. They want him to stay. They didn't want him to get out. They didn't want him to get out at all. Let's go ahead and take a listen to see what Diddy counsel had to say.
It's a great victory. It's a great victory for Sean Combs. It's a great victory for the jury system. You saw that the Southern District of New York prosecutors came at him with all that they had. They're not stopping, but one thing stands between all of us and a prison, and that is a jury of 12 citizens. And we had a wonderful jury. They listened to every word, and they got the situation right, or certainly right enough. They acquitted him of the sex trafficking, which he was absolutely innocent of. They acquitted him of the racketeering conspiracy that he was absolutely innocent of, and all of the components to it. The kidnapping, he was innocent of that. The arson, he was innocent of that. The obstructing justice, he was innocent of that. And that is no longer just me saying that. That is the verdict of our jury. So today is a great day. Today is a win. Today is a victory of all victories for Sean Combs and our legal team.
All right, well, there you have it, man. Diddy's counsel, this attorney, this lawyer, said that it was a win for them. It was a win. So obviously everybody on Diddy's side is satisfied with the turnout. Kind of took everybody by surprise, man. There was so many people who said he would be free. So many people said he would be enjoying the 4th of July at home. And a lot of folks thought he might be guilty based off of everything. So it was kind of interesting to hear people's perspectives. But while I got you on here, Viz, what are your thoughts so far about what you just heard about the whole Diddy case? He's not getting out. That's what we know as of right now. As far as his sentencing, that should be told to us shortly or soon. As far as the two counts that he was guilty of. But the whole racketeering, the big time, the life, all of that, you don't have to worry about that. So I would say it's a win for him, but what are your thoughts?
I'm I'm curious as to why the judge gave him no bail. I mean, to say that he's a threat, even though the people that testified against him is, I think, public knowledge, right? So even if he wanted them to be hurt or whatever, I'm pretty sure he can still make that happen, even if he's behind the wall. So I don't understand why the judge granted that in their favor.
I mean, honestly, I believe they factor in the evidence that they brought forth in the court. and maybe even some of the things that wasn't even relevant, like to the case, right, to the actual charges. But I think when the victims did speak up and his power, his influence, I think that had a lot to do with the decision. I think that they gave him something that he could feel proud about, but they didn't want to give it to him all. They would have gave him every single thing. Like, he only got charged with 2 counts. He was able to get out and have a good time. I just think it would have just been kind of like a slap in the face to the victim. So I think they had to kind of stick him one way or another. I didn't think he was going to get every single thing that his counsel desired for, and probably himself. Sticking Willie. I know when we spoke earlier, you were saying Diddy going to be having probably like a freak off for the 4th of July weekend.
Shit, that's what I thought was gonna happen, bro. I was certain that he was about to get out of here and be Harlem shaking and shit for the 4th of July on somebody's grill. But now, he's gonna have to sit down until sentencing. The crazy part is, each one of them charges, saying carry, the minimum sentence, the minimum recommended sentence is 2 years per count. I mean, I don't think that he gonna get that. I think he'll probably get time served now because it's just a prostitution charge. If either one of y'all catch that charge, right, y'all go before a judge, get a fine, and go home. You know what I'm saying? Jail wouldn't even be on the table. So we gotta see. I don't think that he's gonna get no significant time, and I think it'll be a Diddy album out this year.
That'll be crazy.
Yeah. So they said that Diddy was arrested September 16, 2024, and has remained in federal custody since then, currently held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn as of today, July 2nd. He's been in jail for approximately 10 months. So he's awaiting sentencing, which is on October 3rd, 2025. So instead of him getting bail, he's going to be in jail until October 3rd, until they figure out what it is that they're going to do with him. Now, when October 3rd comes, do you think that he's gonna still do some of this? He's only been in there for 10 months. So October, July. So it's probably only been about a year he's been in there. Do you think he's going to remain behind bars, or you think he's going to be out with a lesser consequence?
I think he's coming home.
Yeah, they're just going to give him time served. Served, and he cashed out. He cashed out who he needs to cash out. So he paid his dues. We tarnished his name. He cashed us out.
So you think that was the goal?
We cost him his billionaire status. Like, maybe it's one of them things they were trying to do to Yeezy. You say, or Kanye West when he was going through it. But, they got their pound of flesh. So I don't see them trying to go too crazy on him. And whatever sentences he does get, I would bet that they run concurrently. So, you know what I'm saying, he's serving more than one at a time. And I think he'll be cool after that.
Okay. Here's a message from DJ Vlad. Says, Cassie is guilty of the same prostitution charges Diddy was just convicted of. I interviewed 3 of the male escorts. All 3 of them said the same thing. Cassie picked them, contacted them for freak-offs, enjoyed the experience, and paid them. Meanwhile, she's sitting on $30 million and writing letters to the judge asking him not to give Diddy bail. So I know some people have been following the case, but I'm just wondering if some of that evidence in there stated that she was actually a criminal and actually participated in this. I'm just wondering why that wasn't included. Is it because she wasn't charged? So that's the reason why you said because she's a woman?
That's why.
She's the victim. They're not going to include her in it if she's cooperating with the government.
And the cold part is she's not even really a victim of anything other than domestic violence. Everything else, then give her that. But that's the only thing that she was a victim of. Everything else she was complicit in. And she got 30 minutes. She got 30 mil from him and 10 mil from a hotel. So she got $40 million for being a complicit hoe that got beat up. She won. If I was her, I'd shut up.
Yeah, the AP said she testified because she got immunity. So
Yeah. Well,
I don't know, man. So I guess everybody was up there celebrating for nothing because it probably comes as a huge disappointment, especially for Diddy's fans who was cheering and rooting for him. But it still is a win. I
yeah,
mean,
I was gonna say, yeah,
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 no,
the win
like
is a
his
win.
lawyer said, that's a huge win still.
yeah,
That's a
Beating
huge
beating three of all three of the serious charges stemming from the RICO. That's major.
yeah.
man,
And,
what?
and then towards the end, he actually he said, "No, we good. We're not bringing nobody to the stand. It is what it is." So I know that's a good look as far as his attorneys and their resume.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah, they hourly rate just went up.
Mm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think
It's probably one of the most
the
high
new
profile cases of our lifetime. The people who got him off of RICO, I'm saying it's the same one. It's the same judge the same attorney that got Young Thug off. Bro doing something right.
Really? It's the same one?
He hired him. Uh, he hired that. I think he hired that entire firm.
Mm.
They say Diddy's legal expenses are north of $100 million.
Lay says he got lucky to be that Rico facing life. So she calls it luck. She don't think it had anything to do. I ain't gonna put words in her mouth, but it seems like she's suggesting that the attorney didn't have anything to do with it, just a pure matter of luck.
I, I don't.
yeah, I don't
I
know
don't.
if I can call that luck.
Yeah, that's not
That
luck.
ain't that's the feds. You don't luckily dodge the feds with no RICO case.
Mm.
They got what they say. They got they got a 98% conviction rate.
Slamming folks.
Yeah,
Let me, let me
if you think
find
that's
out.
luck, man, I'm gonna go buy a lottery ticket. I think that type of luck.
Yeah. Hey, but what was crazy though, even with that picture that you showed in the beginning, was seeing him, grayed out like that. The fact that well, I know Jr. You probably the same age as Diddy, but you know what I'm saying. For me
Oh
to,
wow.
That's
but to you know what I'm saying, grow up, watch it, fam. You know what I'm saying, Harlem shaking and everything, just to now see him behind the wall, grayed out, stressed out. It's like, damn, it's crazy how fast how life switch it up on you like that.
Hmm. Just to add a little bit more context on what Willie said, the federal conviction rate in the U.S. is extremely high, typically above 90%. According to the U.S. Department of Justice, the rate has hovered around 98% in recent years. This is largely due to most federal cases ending in plea deals, not trials, extensive investigations before charges are filed, high resources available to federal prosecutors. This means that once the feds bring charges, a conviction is very likely. So I think that's why Lay might have said it might have been luck based off of that conviction rate. If they brought it up, if they was in there raiding his crib and gathering all these things, they probably thought they had a strong case to be convicted. And so for him to come out on the win as a win, but his legal team and him says a lot.
I mean, it definitely feel like a win because he's not facing life in prison.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they created RICOs to make their shit, you know what I'm saying, like a death sentence for anybody to get hit with one. He beat it. I'm
Hmm.
happy for him. Proud of his legal team, because they was able to do their job. But I didn't think it was. Once I saw they dropped the rest, they dropped other charges before this, right? They dropped like 5 other big ones. So
Hmm.
when I saw that they had dropped those, I was like, well, shit. What was left, it seemed beatable because from the knowledge, the limits, civilian knowledge I have of what it takes to warrant a RICO charge or a conviction, it didn't, seem like he had did any of that. The prostitution shit, yeah, he 100% guilty of that. But
Hmm.
I don't think it's any different than anybody else getting caught out there on Harry Hines in Dallas trying to pick up a trick and end up with an undercover. I don't think it's anything. It's any more. It's any worse than that.
Lay says he's facing life on his character. He was so Disgusting male juice rub on his chest.
The reputation damage, he definitely not gonna beat.
Is it really gonna hurt him though? I don't even think it'll hurt him like that.
That's wild.
AP says, I won't be surprised if they go after his business just to stick to his wallet.
Yeah, they definitely gonna hit him with some fines for sure.
Judge Mathis has something to say. Let's go ahead and see what he said.
By now, you know that Sean Diddy Combs has been convicted of interstate transportation of prostitutes, two counts, and has been denied bail. Although I really am concerned about the assaults against the women, particularly disrespecting black women as such, we must go with what he has been convicted of and respect the jury. And as I had predicted, he should be convicted after hearing and closing arguments of only the 2 counts of interstate transportation of prostitutes. We'll see in the future. Listen to us this next week on the Mathis verdict, as we'll talk about the entire case and the sentencing. The sentencing guideline for a first-time offender is 21 months to 27 months for each count. We'll see whether they're consecutive, whether they're concurrent, or if he deviates from that first-time offender assessment or sentence, if you will. Stay tuned.
All right. What's your boy Judge Mathis, man?
Hey man, I'm gonna definitely have to cut my hair down because my shit look like his.
Really? Let me bring it back up for a second. That's your twin right there. Y'all getting it cracking, man.
I'm gonna have to cut my shit down so I ain't walking around with the Judge Mathis.
Nah, but you went on the show earlier, man. I guess we was having some discussions as far as, do you think his image, you think he's going to rebound from this?
I think he can. Yeah, I think he can. Even if he is made out to be the villain, it doesn't matter because there's still a demographic that follow and align with the villain. Mm-hmm. So I think that it doesn't. I don't think it hurts his character at all. Well, I don't think that it'll affect his bounce back at all.
Mm. In your opinion, have black women been warning us about Diddy, and we were just not listening?
I mean, warning us that he wasn't some freaky ass dude. I mean, I feel like we already knew that. I think that the problem is that people knew it and they still went like it wasn't gonna happen to them, or they weren't gonna be affected by it.
Mm-hmm. What's more damaging, having a toxic father or watching the world destroy your father?
Damn. I would say watching the world destroy your father. Your dad is your hero. So in most cases, especially in that case, whatever your dad is doing, you're going to align with it. And to see someone else destroy him publicly, you talking about villains. That's how you create a villain in the most cold-blooded way.
Yeah, I think I'll have to agree with you, man. And watching your father get destroyed is probably more damaging to the kids, because if you really think about it, even if he is a toxic father, sometimes the kids may not even realize that he's toxic because they've been growing up in it. So they probably normalize who their father was or is, and they just become immune to it. So actually seeing these things play out, especially in the public, and then having everybody talk about them headlines. Like, this is a major story, and it's coming on every day. I mean, you have people that are out there in the courthouses, and this is a different type. Like, whenever you are famous and everything is on the up, we have no complaints. But once people start criticizing you and canceling you, then that's when things start to hit a little bit different. It's something you're not used to. And I can only imagine him not being able to protect his kids, being in jail, and happen to watch the news and just look at it. And it's probably some shame and embarrassment with it.
Oh yeah,
One of
for sure.
one of the conversations that was said was that if he was get out, do you think that he would continue doing the same thing? I'm gonna ask you that question. If he, let's say they come back October, he goes back home, do you think he continues what he's been doing? Early on the show, I know Willie said he's gonna probably go back, but now he knows what to do and what not to do. So, for an example, he probably wouldn't hire anybody that was outside of the states. He
Right.
will hire within the states, or he may move to Las Vegas because the laws are a little bit different. And he get a little bit more freedom to do what he needs to do. So, what do you think? Do you think he go back to the old Diddy once he gets out?
Man, that's that's a hard question to answer. I think it really just depends on if he's really convicted in his heart by what he's done and what he's being accused of. But if he lets that ego get back to him, then hell yeah, he's gonna be right back at it, but just move it in a completely different way. But I mean, I think that it's possible that if he legitimately is convicted in his heart by what he did and how it affected whoever, especially his kids, even if he just look at it from that perspective of like, man, I will never ever put my family through this again, and actually mean it. Yeah, I think that he can come out and be different.
Is it fair to judge a man for behavior that was legal, even if it was morally wrong? Is it fair to judge a man for behavior that was legal, even if it was morally wrong?
I would say in the society is definitely going to judge them. But I think if the law, if it's within the law, then in our American Constitution, then we have no choice but to honor and respect that, regardless of however it is that you feel personally. That's just one of our constitutional rights. So I think that we have to respect that, regardless of how our emotions align, regardless.
Okay. Lay says, so you think beating a woman was legal? I'm not really sure who that's for. Is that for me or for Viz and how you responded?
I'm assuming from that question.
Okay. It was just a question. Just a question. Nobody's assuming that anything about beating a woman.
What about you? What you think?
Same question.
Yeah.
Is it fair to judge a man for behavior that was legal? I think anybody is subject to be judged, honestly, whether it's legal or morally. I just think you got to look at the situation. Who's to say when these laws are created that they are created from like what you believe? So I think anything is ground when it comes to getting judged.
For sure. Yeah.
It's just going to be up to you. Some people may morally feel a certain type of way, and whether it's legal or not, that's what they're going to subscribe to. You can't do nothing but respect it at that point. So I think everything is situational. AP, I'm going to be on here for probably about another 10 minutes. We got another live that we're doing directly after this one. So we are going to be talking about the Jubilee, the Candace Owens versus the feminists. So I'll drop that link so you guys can carry the conversation directly over there. So if you want to pull up over there, then you can. And I'll drop the link as well. So that's what we'll be discussing next. But I did want to just highlight this Diddy situation. We were supposed to start this live a little bit earlier, but it got pushed back. So I still wanted to cover this, and then we'll go right on over there. Let's see. Let me ask you another question, Fierce, while I got you. How does a man explain this kind of downfall to his sons versus his daughters? How does a man explain this kind of downfall to his sons versus his daughters?
The dad in me wants to say to give it to the son as is and filter it to your daughter, but I think that that you have to just give it to them both in the raw, especially with it being, especially if it's public like this, because now the only thing that would do them any justice is just being truthful, even if it hurts. So because at the end of the day, they're gonna believe whatever you tell them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. How does a man explain this kind of downfall to his sons versus? I think it's a tough situation, period. I think his sons may be, I won't say they can understand, but I think they may be able to deal with it a little bit better. I think with your daughters, it may take a little longer to process everything.
I'm sure his sons were more exposed to it as well.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's the same thing we said earlier. Like the daughters might not had no idea what was going on. And so it was when they heard it, I'm surprised they was even in the courtroom. I would have requested them not to be there. And it was a tough decision for him because he had to decide whether to bring him in to paint him in a better picture as a father.
Right.
Or to leave him out. That's why I think day one he was in there. And then once it started getting a little graphic, I think they wound up leaving during a recess or something to that nature. So it's one of those things you probably look back on like, damn, I really got them out here looking bad, because that, like, it's an embarrassment to this whole entire family. Usually when you do acts like this, and I'm pretty sure we can name some other things that's similar, but it not only affects you, but you're affecting the people that are attached to you as well. Even some of the fans they feel a certain type of way. Like, man, I've looked up to you. You're a role model. And to hear all these stories coming out, and since we got social media now, it's easy for you to get canceled or painted in a certain light.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I think again, like, and that's why I pointed out that one part, man, where it's like, man, I remember seeing him, young as hell, and now he grayed out fighting for his life.
Mm-hmm.
That's it's just crazy. But yeah, no, I think it was good for the kids to be in there, because again, either they're going to really stand by and support, especially his daughters. They're really going to stand by and support them. And damn near even, with all that we know about emotional well-being and all this other stuff, they might even try to help him to heal, you know what I'm saying, from whatever he experienced, or just to become a different or better person. Or it can go the other way, and they fucking resent the shit out of them for the rest of their life.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm interested to see how it plays out, for sure.
Me too. Absolutely.
Because I'm trying to remember who, but often when kids grow up in fame, and they get older and life starts to kick in, you know, they both of us turn into dope heads and lose everything, alcoholics, you know. It's just crazy what Hollywood would do to children. So with that influence on top of this happening to them publicly, I'm interested to see how it turns out.
Yeah. I guess stay tuned, man. I'm pretty sure we'll be hearing about it. But as of right now, October is when we will find out his sentencing for the 2 convictions. And I just wanted to cover a little bit of this. As you guys, as promised, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. We are going live immediately after this one, maybe about 10 minutes. Here's the link. You guys will want to watch. We're going to be talking about the Jubilee, where Candace Owens versus the feminists. We're going to break down maybe 3 of those conversations and had a discussion over there. So thank you guys. I just dropped the link. I'll see you guys in a few.